Hello everyone, welcome back to the Shadow Realm. Red Hunya here, back for some more Jurassic Park toy reviews. And these have been really requested by a lot of people that I review some of the old school Kenner figures. The only thing that's been keeping me from reviewing the humans is some of them are missing pieces, so bringing forth here right now, the Lost World Series 2 cast was only 3 humans that I finally have somewhat complete. They look like they're complete right now, but I'll get into it later on in the review. So yeah, without any further ado, let's kick this off. I'm gonna review these figures from the least rarest to the most rarest one. So yeah, let's get going. So up first to the plate we have Eddie Carr, Master Mechanic with Urban Assault gear. This figure is basically just a repaint. Well, it's a slight repaint slash reuse. This is the same Eddie Carr figure from the Lost World Series 1. You can tell by the face on the figure here and his hat that has this little ring, this brown little ring that goes around his hat. You can tell. It's basically, the rest of his body though is a repaint of the Jurassic Park Series 2 Bullet Blaster Alan Grant. So it's the same figure, just repainted orange, black, and a little bit of blue instead of the red. And you can see his hat's different. Like I said, he has the Eddie Carr head. This is the Alan Grant head. It's got the Alan Grant face and the Alan Grant hat. Eddie Carr face with the Eddie Carr hat with the brown little ring going around it. You can still see that ring here on the Series 2 Bullet Blaster Alan Grant, but it's just not painted, so yeah. So he's basically just a repaint slash reuse of this Bullet Blaster Alan Grant. Thank you, Alan Grant, for coming here for a few seconds. Before we get on to the Eddie figure, though, let's look at his hatchling that he comes with. This is the same Rex hatchling that came with the Lost World Series 1 Ian Malcolm. The other one was gray with some green here instead of the black. So the red was gray and the black was green on the other one. It's got a small JP Site B logo. You can even see the bandages here still on his leg. And I liked this hatchling before from the Lost World Series 1. This was the cool little T-Rex hatchling. He's got his little tiny arms. His little tiny arms. He just looks so cute. So little cute. It's weird though. The colors are kind of strange. The T-Rex and the Rex family in the Lost World wasn't really red and or black. This hatchling looks more like it's from... Or this hatchling looks like it belongs more to the Red Rex from Series 1 Jurassic Park Kenner. But either way, it's not a bad repaint. It's pretty cool. I like the red. As if it's not dead obvious, my favorite color's red. Alright. Moving on, though, we get Eddie Carr with a bright, vibrant orange. Almost a little bit of camo here. You can see some stripes of gray mixed in here with the orange and blue. It's weird though, like bright, vibrant orange and this blue. It's like trying to remain somewhat camouflaged, and then you got bright, vibrant colors standing out like a bastard. All right, so back when I said my figure, or some of my figures weren't 100% complete, this is not the bazooka that goes with this Eddie Carr figure. The one that goes with Eddie Carr has a slight little pin that comes down here, like a little handle, so he can hold it easier. It's really hard to try to get him to hold this. You gotta try to put his fingers in that and then move the bazooka up over his head like that. But when you do that, when it rests on his shoulder, usually you can't get his hand in, so it just keeps popping out. So it's not the right bazooka, but either way, it's still the bazooka. You just can't hold it as easily. But it comes with these 2 cluster bombs, just like Muldoon from Series 1. This is the same bazooka here, basically. Or this is the bazooka from Muldoon Series 1. But the Eddie Carr one is supposed to have a slight little pin piece here on this big fat piece towards the end so he can hold it easier in his hand. But either way, it still works. You can shoot both of these rockets. Call of Duty. I like to think this one's like the Heat Seeker rocket, and this one is just like a normal rocket. I mean, they both look a little different. But pretty sweet, the distance you can get. It's kind of powerful, too, for a little... It's strange. Some of the other figures and stuff I've reviewed, the rocket firing features aren't really all too powerful. But, like, here on this, it's actually pretty powerful for just, like, little bazooka that a figure is supposed to hold. So, yeah, you can get some pretty good distance with these. It's a really cool bazooka. Eddie Carr has this backpack, just like Series 1 Muldoon had and T-Rex Turner from Series 2. You can hold your missiles, so when he's not firing them, it can just remain in his backpack, and or the backpack comes off because it's got two little, yeah, you can see those two little holes snap in to keep it secured to his back so when he's running. But either way, comes off. And then you got your little Kenner backpack. Really cool, really cool. Put that with the bazooka. And yeah, just a little bit close up here more of Eddie. Not a bad repaint, but I kind of wish they did something slightly different instead of the orange. The orange is kind of goofy. He's got black boots and what looks to be a black knee pad or some kind of like electronic device. Like, I don't know, it's weird. It doesn't really like look like anything. It looks like a black TV screen, but I don't know, it could be a knee pad. Who knows? He's got little pockets and everything all over the figure. And right here close up you got the JP Site B ID tag here. And yeah, not bad. He's got the same head, so basically it's just a repaint of the Series 2 Bola Blaster Alan Grant with slightly different colors, and it has the Eddie Carr head. So imagine if they decapitated this figure and took the Eddie Carr from Series 1 head and just put it on this figure and repainted the figure, and that's basically what Series 2 Eddie is. I don't rate the human figures, but I recommend this one because this one's the cheapest of all the Lost World Series 2 humans. The Lost World Series 2, like most people know, is really rare. It rivals the Jurassic Park Series 2 line from 1994 with the rare factor because it wasn't around long before the plug was pulled, so a lot of the figures didn't really get a worldwide release or didn't really get released in large quantities, so nowadays they're really hard to come by. But out of all the Lost World Series 2 figures, Eddie Carr here is probably the easiest one to track down and probably the cheapest. Out of the box, 100% complete, basically, like I have here in front of me. Well, not 100% complete because I don't have the right bazooka that he's supposed to be able to hold. But it's still basically the same bazooka that can fire the same rockets. But out of the box, he usually runs complete for around $20 to $30. Mint in the package, probably upwards more of 40 to 50 plus. But yeah, so give Eddie Carr a look if you think he's cool. Let's move on to the next figure. Next up, we have Ajay Sidhu, or Ajay Sidhu. I'm not really sure how you pronounce his last name. This was the guy that yelled, "Don't go into the long grass," if everyone remembers. He was Roland's buddy, or basically Roland's like second guy in command, or his best friend, I guess. But AJ, big game hunter, comes with a rocket launcher backpack and a Parasaurolophus hatchling. Let's look at the hatchling quick here. The hatchling's in kind of a strange pose looking back, like, would you just... like, look at his head. He's, like, almost completely 360 turned around. Like, looking backwards. Kind of a little goofy hatchling, but it is kind of neat. I always thought this was a Corythosaurus hatchling, but I guess it's a Parasaurolophus hatchling. And if you look right there, you got the small JP Site B, so you know this is from the Lost World line. Kind of a cool hatchling, I mean... It's just cool because it's a new hatchling, and it's not like a repainted hatchling. Like, I don't hate repaints, but I like seeing new hatchlings, even if they're not really the best. But it's cool that this is a new hatchling. Mostly gray with some yellow, and he's got some red up towards his crest. Just wish the hatchling wasn't in such like a goofy pose looking all the way back like that. Like his head's almost completely turned around like it's snapped. But yeah, that's AJ's hatchling. Kind of cool. And here's AJ himself with his rocket launching backpack. It's got a spots here in the back so you can hold the missiles he's not using, so you can take them out, put them in down there. His backpack piece here, the rocket can swivel upwards and down, so really nice. A ridiculously huge backpack though. I would not want to be on an island of dinosaurs trying to run away with a huge backpack like this. But either way, you pick which rocket you want to fire, load it in, and you press this piece up here to fire like every other standard thing. Let's see if we can hit this, if I can get this thing to stand. Let's see if we can get them. Damn, I am so good. I get these all first shot. You got his other rocket. It looks slightly different here. Same thing. It just loads in. And actually, too, this piece can pop out from his backpack, so he just has the backpack. So if you just want this, piece that swivels up here on this joint. Pretty neat little rocket launcher feature. I always liked his backpack. Yep, and that's it. His backpack piece 2 here can come off. It goes into his back. The square opening on his back, it just goes in, and yeah, that's how it stays in. You get the idea. Put this back together here. And boom. That's his backpack. Now for AJ himself. Looking more like an InGen hunter here. Or looking like another InGen hunter. This is really cool. He's got a machete kind of on his leg. He's got some gray and white camo, black boots, and his black sunglasses. It's actually kind of funny. This doesn't look 100% like AJ from the movie, but considering it's from the toy line, it kind of pulls off his look really well. I don't even know the actor's name that played AJ, but they actually kind of made him into a pretty cool looking action figure here. He's got a nice vest. Mostly just gray, black, and white this figure is, other than the human skin tones and his brown looking gloves. But he's got a other little assault weapon here, this rifle. Pretty cool. Ridiculous. It's got a clip and a scope. Come off, and any of your other figures could use this gun. And or if they have a spot somehow on their back, I guess that could like fit in. But standard par for the course, this gun's for AJ himself. But yeah, AJ's another cool Lost World Series 2 human here. I wish this figure was released in the Series 1 line, if AJ was from the Series 1 line. It's kind of a shame he was from only Series 2, and that makes him the second rarest Lost World Series 2 figure to hunt down. Prices are usually rather high for this one. 100% complete, because sometimes he's missing the backpack piece, or the missiles, or the hatchling. So par for the course, this figure falls in the price range, out of the package, loose, complete for around 40 to 60 plus. New in the box, it's probably going to be upwards of 70 or closer to 100 if he's still sealed. 100 or $90 probably being max. But yeah, if you like Roland Tembo and you want Roland Tembo to have his second man, sidekick man, AJ, this is a really awesome figure, and he's got a pretty sweet backpack and some weapons to fight some dinosaurs with, and a pretty neat little hatchling to boot. And lastly, here we have Nick Van Owen, one of the rarest, not even the rarest from the Lost World Series 2, one of the rarest Kenner human figures out on the market. He rivals a lot of the Series 2 1994 Jurassic Park figures. This is like one of the rarest Kenner humans ever made. For whatever reasons, I don't know why this one became super, super rare like it is. But yeah, Nick Van Owen was one of my favorite characters in the Lost World growing up as a kid. And even when I go back and watch the movie now, Nick Van Owen is still one of my favorites. I mean, I love Malcolm, but Nick was a cool character. Roland was badass. And, okay, I'm getting sidetracked. But either way, let's look at his hatchling that he comes with. He comes with a Brontosaurus or a Brachiosaurus hatchling. Kind of annoying. It comes with these freaking clips. If you guys have watched my other reviews, I talk about these clips and say that these were basically just made to annoy the hell out of collectors, because like this is like the size of a penny. Like, look, this is my finger, and like that's how big it is. It's really tiny. A lot of the times nowadays that's lost, because like just imagine kids taking these toys outside and like they just lose these little pieces. They're not going to know where they are, but you can tell they're from Jurassic Park because they all have the JP mark there. So whatever these capture gear clips are for, I usually just stick them on this hatchling. They don't really serve any purpose on capturing the hatchling, though. But I really love this Brachiosaurus hatchling. This thing's actually almost slightly better than the Series 1 and Series 2 Brachiosaurus hatchling from Jurassic Park. The one that came with Harpoon Harrison and Tim Murphy. It's got some cool looking colors. It almost looks like Littlefoot from The Land Before Time. He's got the Jurassic Park Site B mark here on his leg. The figure's basically all brown with some shades of purple. And yeah, he's in a really active looking pose too, which is nice. I love this hatchling. This was a really cool hatchling that came with this guy. Sad we didn't get a bigger Brachiosaurus figure from the line, so we only got hatchlings at the time. But either way, we got Nick Van Owen, the tracking specialist. Strange, because from Series 1, he was the video photographer specialist, I believe, or it was something of the sorts like that. He was like the cameraman. But even still here in Series 2, he's got a camera. You think it's like a rocket, because like you can see through it. So it's like some kind of a rocket, but if you look at it, it's actually like a huge video camera with a microphone on top. I'm going to record us going in to document some dinosaurs. Yeah. So, a pretty cool looking thing. Nothing on this to really tell you it's from Jurassic Park. It just looks like a video camera. Because you all know Hammond wanted them to go in and document the dinosaurs. And it's got this huge handle piece that comes down for him to hold on to. We're recording the Brachiosaurus hatchling. So a pretty nice little accessory, just because it's not a repaint or anything, and we haven't seen this accessory before, so kudos, I like it. Video camera. He also has this huge backpack, almost like Ajay Sidhu does. This backpack is just really strange. It's got a Jurassic Park mark up here. I do believe it's supposed to come off, and this piece can collapse down, and I believe this is supposed to be like to attract dinosaurs. Like you set this up outside almost like a trap, and then you open this piece which has this chicken bone. It's got this chicken bone in here under this, so like you set this trap up. That's got to be what this is, because if you look at it, these look like they're microphones. These look like microphones, and this looks like another small little tiny camera. So you probably set this up outside to attract some dinosaurs, and then boop, 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 little T-Rex comes along sniffing, chicken bone, and then you have Nick trying to record the figure. That's my thoughts on what this backpack is. Little strange, though. I mean, if anyone else has any idea what this thing is, or a better idea of what this thing could be used for, I'd like to hear it. Post in the comments. But I'm guessing it's like a backpack that he collapses down into this trap. Opens this to attract some carnivores or something, because it's a chicken bone. So Brachiosaurus isn't going to come by, but other carnivore dinosaurs will come by, and then Nick can get that awesome shot with his camera for Hammond for researching the figures. Researching the dinosaurs, not researching the figures. Wow, what am I saying? But yeah, Nick Van Owen here comes with some pretty cool looking getup here. I think this actually almost rivals his Series 1 counterpart. The face is a slightly different tweaked face. It looks a little bit more like Vince Vaughn compared to the Series 1 version. You've got a blue shirt, a vest, this black strap, black and brown strap that goes around him, some green pants, some black and stuff, some black pouches and stuff attached to his knees, got some pockets. It's got the Hasbro thing, I think, here. Yeah, Hasbro, China, blah, blah, blah. Some pretty cool looking boots too. Some boots with some silvery metal stuff. Really nice. Collapse this back down. I would highly recommend this figure. The only downside is, like I've already said, this figure is like super freaking rare now, and is probably one of the rarest Kenner human figures out there that you can buy for your Jurassic Park collection. So it makes trying to find this guy extremely freaking hard, especially with all the parts, like especially these little freaking pieces. So out of the package complete, you can probably expect to pay anywhere from around $70 to $100 for this guy complete. New in the box, it's probably going to be upwards of $100 to $120 plus maybe. It's a really rare figure from the Lost World and from any of the Kenner lines. It's, like I said, one of the rarest Kenner human figures out there. But he comes with some pretty sweet gear we've never seen before, and I like this trap feature that he can set up on the ground, and it has the chicken bone in there. But if the only thing is, it's like if you weren't using this as a trap and you're walking around the island, it's like you have a chicken bone here in the back. It's like some dinosaurs are going to smell that. It's like, Nick, what are you doing? Why do you have a chicken bone in your backpack? It's not a backpack, but you guys get what I understand. It's almost like a backpack because it collapses in and he carries it on his back until he finds an area where it's setting up camp and trying to get some shots of dinosaurs. So yeah, I give him a thumbs up. Check him out. His prices are a little on the higher side, but if you can find him cheap enough, he's definitely worth adding to a collection because he's cool. He's cool. He's cool. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. The Lost World Series 2 Human Figures by Kenner. 1997 to 1998, I believe these figures were on store shelves before the Chaos Effect figures got released. Or these were on store shelves and basically up until Chaos Effect was out, and then it was pretty much like almost impossible to find these guys. I don't even really have many memories of seeing any of these guys on store shelves back in the day as a kid, so that just proves how hard they were to actually find back then, let alone trying to find them now. But I recommend them. Depending on how big of a collector you are, you may want to stay away from them just because a lot of these guys bring in really high price tags to find, especially new in the box. But even if you want them complete, they're still going to be pretty high pricing. A little high pricey, except Eddie. Eddie would probably be the cheapest one to get if you want to add one, which is kind of sad considering AJ and Nick are probably the two best figures from the Series 2 line, just because the gear they come with is awesome. I mean, even some of the gear that AJ has, I believe, came on some of the Congo figures that were done by Kenner too. But yeah, that about does it. Thumbs up the video if you enjoyed this review, or if you had any of these 3 Kenner human figures from the Lost World Series 2 line as a kid, and post in the comments down below and tell me which one's your favorite and rate them in order. Do you think Nick's the best and then AJ? I personally think Nick's the best and then AJ, and then coming in 3rd place is Eddie Carr. But post in the comments down below, subscribe to the Red Hunja YouTube page, and I'll be seeing you guys in the next review. Until then, take care and have a great weekend, guys. We're approaching 2,000 subscribers too. That is really awesome. Holy crap. Thank you for the support, everyone. And yeah, see you next time.